Hello, welcome to the Earth 39 podcast. I'm here with one of the first people I followed on TikTok when I got the app, Sticksy617. What's up, man?
How you guys doing? I'm doing okay. I was watching some. Just got a new subscription to Shudder. If you have it's a horror streaming service.
Oh,
You
shit.
can find some good movies.
Yeah, what movies?
I was watching this one. It's this Japanese film from the '90s called Ichi the Killer. It's like real. It's cheesy as hell, but I like it. You know.
Yeah, I love the old
Like
cheesier horror movies and stuff. Man, have you
Mhm.
seen any of Jordan Peele's recent stuff?
Are you talking about Get Out
Yeah,
and Us? I like Us better than Get Out.
me too. Us was creepier. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, Get Out wasn't super scary. I think it was more a thriller.
they were both good though. You know.
Yeah. So, so you're obviously in self-ISO right now, I'd assume, like a lot of people
Hmm.
are. I don't know if you're doing that or what.
Yep.
Yeah. We don't have to go into that, but what are some things you've been doing inside the house, like just being with, I feel like a little more extra time.
Mostly I just been I just honestly I spend most of my time inside the house, right? So it hasn't been weird being self isolated because I work from home and everything.
Hmm.
And I guess probably I think the good part about it is I get to choose how and when I interact with people because
Hmm.
I don't have to interact with people at all these random times I don't want to.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
It's
I
kind of
totally.
selfish, I guess, but.
Yeah. Um, so have you been making more or less TikToks, do you think?
One thing I've learned, man, is like when I try to I used to be on call working when I worked as a drain cleaner, and I used to work 24-hour on call, and I wasn't allowed to leave my house.
Hmm.
And I found that my whole thing was okay, now I'm gonna make a ton of videos because I'm sitting at home all this time. But I found out that if you do that to yourself, you end up getting burnt out on ideas.
Yeah.
And I've found taking me time helps me come up with better videos than when I'm just trying to crank them out because I have the time for it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and your videos are really well edited too. I
Yeah,
mean, do you shoot all your videos on your phone?
all on my phone.
Really?
I got a MacBook. Well, Freddie Dredd actually bought me a MacBook for YouTube
Really?
and helps me with some of the upload and stuff like that, but mostly all on my phone.
Yeah, dude, you need to send me the link for your YouTube. I'll put it in the description.
For
Um,
sure.
yeah.
I have not posted on it in a while. I've done some shitty gaming streams.
Yeah. So you play video games. I know this isn't written on the questions. I probably should have written this. Have you been playing video games at all?
I've been playing a lot of video games. I've been
Mhm.
playing this one called Dusk. How
What's
old
that?
are you, if you don't mind me asking?
Huh?
How old are you, if you don't mind me
I'm
asking?
16.
Okay, so this is because y'all are probably playing Call of Duty now and all that other stuff. This
Yeah.
isn't like Call of Duty where they got you go in cover and you shoot the guy that looks like an ant. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah.
I've been playing this game called Dusk, right? And it's there's no fall damage, and you just bounce around the arena and shoot a bunch of guys till they blow up. It's the best.
That, I mean,
It's the
that does
best, man.
sound fun. I'm more into a lot of my friends love the first person shooter games, so I'll go online, play with them, whenever
Hmm.
they're playing. But I'm more GTA 5, campaign based games, open world games,
I like
Fallout.
narrative
Fallout series.
based games a lot.
Yeah. Have you played the Fallout series?
Never played any open world games. I'm
Really?
very new to video games, mostly because of
Oh.
self ISO.
Oh, really? Damn.
Hmm.
That's awesome. So let's talk about, I guess, the creative process. You shoot a video, what's next?
So
Or even we could
it's
just start earlier than that and say you're
no, for
sitting on the
sure.
couch.
It's kind of I get an idea. So I'm at a point right now where I don't do much experimenting anymore, which kind of gets a little boring after a while. I
Yeah.
kind of miss being when I was still figuring everything out. But a lot of what happens, right, is like I come up with an idea for like a punchline is something I want to make funny,
Mm-hmm.
or I find something that's like really, that I want to make content about. And I'm at a point now where it's like the filming and editing and final product are all kind of like just the same thing, just because I know what goal I have in mind at this point,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, so it's like when I'm filming it, I'm thinking of like what it's going to look like in the editing studio and all that. So it's a very like, I've gotten quicker at it, but I
Mm-hmm.
remember like when I was even still though, like I feel like the editing is where I get to be a little more creative, because I'm at a point where I can literally just put anything onto anything and make it whatever I want it to be.
Yeah, that's awesome. That I wish I was at that point personally. So that answered the question completely. When did you start making videos?
So I started making videos when I was like a month sober, I think, and I just had nothing to do with
Yeah.
my free time. And I kind of didn't go outside much. I'd go to work and then I'd stay inside, and that was it. And I found the app, and it's like I needed some sort of creative outlet, you know what I mean? I've always
Yeah.
kind of needed that in life. And it was like 15-second videos. So I'm thinking like, okay, I'm just going to take out my fake eye and like throw it at people and all this other stuff. And like, I
Mm-hmm.
thought it would be funny. And it started blowing up more and more.
Yeah.
And, I actually didn't have any editing software equipment when I first started. And for anybody who listen to this that's wanting to be a content creator, you don't need to have special software or anything. You got to just have an idea and know how you want to make people feel. And
Yeah.
it's been a journey.
Yeah. No, I bet, man. Dude, like, yeah, no fancy editing software, just, starting to make videos and something just hits, and I remember when I had my first video that even broke like 100 likes, I didn't understand why. Because like I thought it was a
Hmm.
cool idea to me, but like I didn't understand the mass appeal, I
No,
don't know
it's
if you ever
something.
had a feeling like that with your videos.
Most of the time, I feel like most of my videos that I don't like would blow up for the longest time when I was first starting out. It's
Hmm.
because I didn't understand like what people liked about those videos. And I remember like this is when I like first started. So I was playing around with like iMovie, trying to edit stuff, which was a pain in the ass because you had to like flip it and everything.
Yeah.
I would film things on TikTok, and then so I did one of my like first edited videos, and all the while it took me 3 hours to make that because I was still learning. All
Hmm.
the while that was going on, I had a video where I literally had a singamajig. I don't know if I can. I don't know if you know about them. They're the toys that like you squeeze them and they sing.
Oh,
And I
yeah, I
did a
know what you're
video
talking about.
with a
Yeah.
singamajig,
Hmm.
just like duetting someone, and it blew up. All the while I was making this like heavily edited video that it ended up being on my YouTube channel later on, but it didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, dude, like I feel like, I remember it's so weird for you because I guess it's a little bit of a fan moment personally for me, but I remember the exact first video I found of yours.
Which
Because
one was it?
I was sharing it with so many friends, and that's why I remember why. It was like a jeweling, and there were lockers, and
Oh,
you
yeah.
all just some people.
I
And you're like,
remember
if you
that
hit a
one.
jewel, you will die. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, jewel.
All the
I thought that one
explosions
was
and
funny.
everything.
Yeah, that was, that's one of the only videos where I'm like, that's when I followed that guy, and like that's how I remember how I found that guy.
I didn't mean to curse, by the way. I didn't realize that. You can probably edit that out. But yeah, it was funny because like I actually got a lot of flack for that.
Really?
Because everybody was like wondering why I jewel, and I made the PSA because like sometime when your video goes viral, then like it's gonna get noticed by 11-year-olds,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly. Yeah, the wrong audience.
and everybody was like all like confused, and I think I had like a fandom for a while that thought that I was like against jeweling, like a small percentage of people, and I kind of am, but like I'm not like
I mean, like, yeah, you're not
A role
against it
model.
responsibly, I guess.
I'm not I don't want people doing it. It's just what I do, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So I guess this isn't really a good segue, but what are some like common myths or rumors you either heard before or after, just you've heard along the way about like just being a TikTok, I don't know, like personality, creator, influencer, I don't know what that,
I think the
you have the blue
funniest
check mark
one,
back now, so.
no, for sure. I mean, I think the funniest one is when people say that like you get paid to be verified,
Mhm.
which like nobody's ever been paid to be verified.
Yeah, it's
And yet
like
like a
that.
bunch of people start spreading that rumor around. One thing that like really blows my mind kind of is how everyone thinks that TikTok celebrities, that they're like all rich from TikTok, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That everybody's like super rich. And it's like, the thing is, I left a job that was making me $4,000 a week to do this full time, you
Really?
know? Yeah. And it's like, I make like maybe like sometimes 700 a week, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
Compared to like how I was making, but
I mean, yeah.
gets me by. But it's like, you know,
I mean,
that's
you're doing what you love, man. And it's,
exactly.
it's already blown up. I mean, over 500,000 people are already like
Mm-hmm.
just following you, tuning in.
Yeah.
I mean, but like for TikTokers, really, all I can tell from the outside looking in, I don't know if there is any excess source of revenue, but I'm like, I
There's
think
promos.
TikTokers are
You
just
get
like live
promos.
gifts and promos. Yeah, obviously, but like live gifts.
Most of the songs you hear on the For You page are promos at this point.
Yeah, I would expect like people are probably getting Charlie D'Amelio or however you pronounce that,
Mm-hmm.
the famous dancers to use their songs because they
Yeah.
all go viral. You know,
Exactly.
the only song from Doja Cat that anyone knew of before like TikTok was it was called
The
Bitch
cow
I'm a
one.
Cow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I like that one.
I like that one too, right? Yeah. You're actually a musician. I guess this is skipping a few questions. You're a
That's
musician.
okay.
You play the ukulele. You recently covered The Box by Ron D. Rich on your YouTube. So when did your passion for music start? When did that start?
So I the thing is, when I was 15, I was always kind of singing as a kid. That
Mm-hmm.
was like something I do, like playing around on we had this like old out of tune piano,
Mm-hmm.
and like play around on it and make little like compositions, air quotes.
That's
Since I
awesome.
can't, this is a podcast, you guys are listening.
Yeah.
But I I started playing like and singing when I was 15 as a way to make like a little bit of extra cash, just
Mm-hmm.
get some food and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I go out on street corners um, after school, and I'd go play some music, and I get like $40, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
like a dumbass kid who probably
Yeah.
could have like been saving up for college, I want to spend it on like junk food and all that, you know.
Yeah.
But it was that, and then I started like writing my own songs, and you know, I just I gave it up when I started drinking because it just like stopped being interesting to me. And then once I quit drinking, it's like I still wasn't into it until I wanted to find a way to make my live streams on TikTok a little more exciting.
Mm-hmm.
So I incorporated music in it, and people
Yeah.
really liked it, you know.
Yeah. I mean, that's incredible, man. Like, so was it weird making the switch from piano to ukulele?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, I barely like touched the piano, honestly, man. And I just kind of picked both of them up like by myself. And the ukulele, like it just kind of it worked a little better because it was portable and everything. And I liked having like a little portable thing I could carry around
Yeah.
and just make some cash, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's the best, man.
That was my thing.
Yeah. Um, so what do you like wish you knew, I guess, when you were getting involved in TikTok, when you signed up? What do you wish it like said? If there was a page that was like, here's what you should know you're signing up for, what do you wish you knew?
I want to try and say this in a way that's like more concise, so I don't waste too much of your time. But
Oh no, go ahead, dude. I have no
like
idea.
you if you can't win if you don't play the game, is kind of what I like to say. And there's like so many times when I wouldn't get views on my videos and I would start thinking like, this is the end. It's my whole thing's over. I'm never going to be famous.
Yeah.
And every single time I'd always like come out of it and then end up like surpassing a bunch of people who just kind of stopped when they stopped getting views.
Mm-hmm.
And I think my advice to myself would have been like, stop moping around, just keep going. Because there's sometimes where I just got lazy or like dissatisfied with everything I was doing, just because like other people weren't, just a good amount of people weren't seeing it, you know?
Yeah.
And like, I think if I had just kind of known that, I would have been able to do a little better at some spots, but it is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, thanks for saying that even to me right now, because I'm currently in one of those moping around phases where like I had a huge surge of followers at one point and went from like 7,000 to 24,000, and it was huge for me. But like then it just came to a halt, and
You
I've
want to
been
know
at
how many
24
times my accounts died?
Yeah.
Like 50 times.
Really?
It's like died and then I've come back.
Yeah.
Nobody notices because I'm always like still posting content. The thing is, like, if your account dies, like nobody notices until you make a video that's viral and they go, huh, where was that guy at?
Yeah, what happened to that guy recently? I mean, your account got like taken down recently though. Like,
yeah, it got deleted.
Not die. It didn't die peacefully. It like
No, it got
killed.
deleted.
Yeah. So what happened? I mean, do you know anything about what happened there?
I have an idea, man, but I'm not sure. So, like, here's the thing, and a lot of people have been getting their accounts taken down recently.
Mm-hmm.
And what you got to understand about TikTok is, like, I love the people who work at TikTok. They're not bad people. But they kind of, like, bite off more they can chew sometimes with all the people on the app and how much promotion they do with, like, very little experience running the app.
Mm-hmm.
And with the new coronavirus, what I'm assuming is that there's a lot less people working at TikTok right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so when that happens, the way these companies do it is they rely on like bots to run the app. The problem is though, is that bots don't, you know, they call it machine learning, but the machines ain't learned enough, is what I like to say.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm pretty sure I got mass reported by some kids who I tried to ban them because they kept trying to get me to say the N-word, and I straight up like warned them, like, look, you spammed my chat, it's getting annoying, just stop. And then I muted them, and immediately after, I got mass reported for dangerous behavior, and my account got deleted.
Oh my god.
Dude, you know,
dude, that's like, I mean, you didn't even ban them. You just muted them. You could have banned them. I mean,
I don't like banning people.
Yeah, I know. It sucks. It really does.
Yeah, it does, man.
Yeah.
It was just a headache, dude. Like, I'm lucky I got connects with TikTok. Like, I'm trying to get some of my friends' accounts back, and I don't really think I don't know what they're doing, but hopefully they do something, you know?
Yeah, I totally understand that. I mean, I've never had that personally, but I've seen a lot of people I know who've gone through like that whole process of videos getting taken down. And like, did something happen to the TikTok algorithm recently? Because I just feel like a lot of people their views have been like either views or likes or whatever. Have
It just changes a lot, man. But like, honestly, dude, like, I know some stuff about the algorithm that I'm not allowed to say because I don't know by legal means. But all I can say is, like, even if you figure out the algorithm, there's literally no point to it.
Yeah.
Like, there's literally no point to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just gonna go where it goes. I got like 2 videos today. One of them's at like 13K. The other one's at like maybe less than 10K. You know, in terms of views. All the other ones though, they were like 70K, 90K, all that. You know, a lot of videos go viral like weeks after.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you just keep posting. Your biggest enemy is sitting there worrying about the algorithm and obsessing over it. For anybody listening to this, like, don't get into that trap, because I get into that all the time.
So
it drives me nuts.
I mean, kind of hopping off that algorithm question a little bit. How is there a goal number where you're like, I want to post this many times per day?
I kind of used to. When I first started, I posted like 5 videos a day a lot of the
Mhm.
time. Not all of them were like stuff I really worked hard on, but it's like I said before, man. You know, it's like when you do it too much, you get burnt out. And I try to keep it at just like 2 videos every day, and I try to make one of them like something that I really like, and the other one just kind of like something just kind of simple that I can crank out, you know,
Yeah. Yeah,
and
no.
just see where it goes.
Yeah, dude, totally I totally get that. I started out on this app as a, I don't love saying this because it's a little embarrassing now, but I started out on this app as a cosplayer. I would
That's
try
cool.
and post, yeah, like
I follow a lot of cosplayers.
no, yeah, me too. It's a great community, and the people who are really good at it are really good at it. Looking back at
Hmm.
my videos now, I think I thought I was one of the people who's really good at it. I was probably more of the people who are being like mocked now with like the hand motions and everything, who are going in 2 times speed.
Hmm.
So I started out like that. I got a little bit of attention from that, but I would keep trying to exhaust myself with posting videos, like 5 videos a day, something like that, or making 10 videos a day, saving 5 for the draft for tomorrow or something, but it was just still a lot and a lot to do and a
Yeah.
lot. And I eventually it became numb to me to the point where I
Hmm.
didn't care anymore. And I was like, I don't care really about making videos or putting anything out.
I get
And
that.
yeah, now I'm trying to get back to posting stuff I actually care about and,
Hmm.
getting back into that. And I'm doing this podcast now, which is cool. But,
Exactly.
it's just new ways, dude. TikTok's always changing. And the For You
Hmm.
page gives everyone a chance. And it's such a,
Exactly.
yeah.
That's what I think is cool about it.
That's why I think it's so much easier for someone to go, I'm going to make a TikTok account and sign up and try my luck there than go like, I'm going to try and become a big YouTuber now. Because,
Honestly.
yeah.
Well, YouTube things like all like just, you know, YouTube's just like a bunch of people who there's no like variety in the YouTube community anymore. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
YouTube's become kind of like television, where it's like you have these like, you know,
Mhm.
just weirdly famous. Like the only thing on YouTube that's kind of still remained untouched by that is they got like a lot of like sort of like the meme side of YouTube and like the creepy side of YouTube. Like you can still get kind of big doing that, but in terms of like, you know, the whole Let's Play scene, and I love like a lot of those creators and stuff like Markiplier and all these
Mhm.
other guys, but like there's no like getting into the YouTube scene anymore, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think there's like also adding on to the creepy and meme side, there's like the commentary video essay side of things.
Yep.
As
Which
a,
I watch a lot of those.
dude, I spend so much of my time watching those.
Hmm.
Do you
They got them
watch
on like all
anyone
sorts of
specifically?
topics.
Do you watch anyone specifically?
Trying to remember, I don't know everybody's names. I just kind of like get on a rabbit hole. One of them I watched is Down the Rabbit Hole. That one's interesting. He
There's
goes into like internet lore, I guess, about not really scary, but it's like about like certain things that were around on the internet.
yeah.
Just an interesting look at culture.
Do you like or know of Kanye West at all?
Oh yeah, I grew up
There's
on
this
Kanye, man.
dude, yeah. I guess you could say I'm currently growing up on Kanye a little bit.
Hmm.
Kanye and movies, usually what I like to say. But so this YouTuber I know, this guy who does a lot of video essays and a lot of like, almost short documentaries about influencers.
Yeah.
Made a whole hour and a half like video essay, fully edited, fully scored, everything, all by himself. I watched the whole thing, and it was like literally like watching a documentary about Kanye's life. I'm gonna
Yeah.
totally send you the link if you have time. You should definitely just try and sit down and watch it, dude.
I'll have to
It's
check it
great.
out.
Yeah, for sure. Try to do it. So I'm gonna go to like did anyone does anyone influence your editing in like the sense of style? Is there any editors either on TikTok or in movies or something?
You know, man, like I have some very. It's weird. You want me to just like talk about like what inspires my content pretty much.
Yeah, go
That
for it.
work for you? Like,
Oh yeah.
I don't know, because it's like I don't get a lot of inspiration from like new school content creators just because I like to keep it original.
Hmm.
But a lot of people have been saying I'm like a ripoff of Tony Zaret, but like people have been making like purposefully bad videos for a long time. You know what I mean? It's been
Yeah.
like and like I remember like growing up, I watched a lot of Monty Python.
Hmm.
I don't know if anybody's gonna know what that is, but it's
I
like
do,
it was
man.
this old like British movie series, and it's just like so stupid. Or like the
Yeah.
airplane movies,
Or like
like
Spaceballs.
yeah, like Spaceballs. Like it's just so stupid, but it's like underneath it was just like this like criticism of like pop culture and like all this other stuff, and that's kind of what I like got into. And I remember me and my little brother, we used to like crack jokes all the time because we had like this weird dysfunctional house we were living in, and we'd always like crack jokes with each other and stuff. And we'd watch like that show like Goosebumps
Mhm.
or like anything on the kids channel and just like make fun of how bad it was trying to market to kids. And that became like that stuff's just so funny to me, like glitchy video games, like anything. And you know, even from the beginning, like what I like doing honestly is I like taking like things of pop culture that I see and looking at it through like a bunch of different lenses that I see it through, but not a lot of other people have. Like, you know, if you're talking about like poverty and mental illness, like there's a lot of people that don't got you know, a father in the picture. There's a lot of people that got like mental illness stuff going on, addiction. And then it's like you tie that into like these like trends that are going around and all this like pop culture references, and it kind of throws people in a loop and it makes them uncomfortable. And that's why they laugh, is because it makes them uncomfortable, but it also gets them talking about like something they wouldn't talk about before. You know what I mean? And
Dude,
that's what I try to shoot for in the most pretentious way I could talk about it.
I mean, that's not for you get. I mean, you get it. I've, you know, you under like your channel, like not channel. I don't know what to page or whatever. Your
Yep.
videos are the most like similar thing I've ever seen. Like it's the funniest thing in the world to me, man. Like the sheep video that I watched.
Oh, the
That was
sheep guys
recent.
one.
I showed that to my whole family because my family, they're like, "Where do you have to be at 10?" I'm like, "I'm interviewing this TikToker," and they're like, "Who is it?" And I was like, "Which of the videos should I show?" So I picked the sheep video, and it's a huge hit. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, bringing up like how you and your brother did that, me and my brother sometimes do that too, where we'll just sit down and watch a cheesy. There's like this one show, The Flash, now, and
Mm-hmm.
this one thing happened where it cut. It didn't seem like it cut to a commercial. It seemed like a real scene, and they were all like, "Oh my god, I'm so scared. What's happening?" It seemed like something big was going to happen, and it turned out to be an ad for like anti cigarettes, anti tobacco,
Yeah.
that stuff, and it was the cheesiest thing in the world. Like
You
cheesy.
know what? Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Oh, go ahead, man.
You know what? That reminds me of like, so my father, I was back in like VHS days, right?
Mhm.
And my father used to like record reruns of this show called Mystery Science Theater 3000. And the whole premise behind it, for anybody listening to this, it's like this guy named Joel, who he's a janitor who ends up in space, and he's on this spaceship, and this guy forces him to watch like these horrible movies from the 80s.
Mhm.
So he builds two robots to like keep him company, and they just crack jokes at like these horrible movies, and it's just like sitting down like watching with my little brother. And
Yeah.
that's where like I got like a lot of inspiration from, was all this like bad stuff I'd see in like people's content and all this other stuff, you know, movies mostly. But then it's like when I got into content creation, I'd go on TikTok and I'd see all these trends that were just like straight up like just stupid, you
Mhm.
know, that
Yeah.
like nobody was falling for, who wasn't like 11 years old. And I was like, okay, like I'm gonna make a video about that.
I mean, yeah, dude. Like your videos, and you also talk about how it's kind of criticizing pop culture in that sense. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's the undertones of
Not
that.
necessarily criticizing it, I guess, just kind of more like, I'm sorry for talking so much, man.
Oh, dude, no,
I
that's why
probably
you're
should
on
have
here
some
to talk.
podcast about me. But not so much criticizing. it's more kind of like I guess it's kind of using pop culture to illustrate, to like narrate like different things going on that like the way I see it and stuff like that.
It's
Kind
like
of
almost
talk about certain
satirical.
things. What?
Like satire, almost like satirical.
Satire that kind of like brings up like other things. Like I did a video, trying to think of a good example, man. I did a damn it, I'm blanking on this video I did.
Hey man, it's cool. It happens to the best of us.
Let me just take a second if you don't mind. I'm sorry to waste your
Hey,
time
no
like
worries.
this.
No worries.
I mean, I'll just talk about it in a general sense, right? Is like I play like a lot of characters, and Sticksy617 is kind of like a character himself, you know what I mean? It's kind of like
Yeah.
a little bit like me, but not exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And like the thing is like these guys, what I think what makes the stuff funny to people a lot of the time is not just like the cheesy bad editing that's in there, but it's also just like some of the things about these characters. Like there's guys who have like, you know, it's like I'll make a video with like Peppa Pig, but it turns out like Peppa Pig has like a felony charge or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
I
it's
know.
like, and everybody hears that, and it's just like it's so funny to them. Or
Yeah.
like I used to make a lot of videos that were about I know which one it was. It was there's like that trend going around. It's like talking with my lawyer, she said, and it
Yeah.
goes right into this thing where it's like this lawyer is talking to this guy in a jail cell and all this other stuff, and it cuts to a Law and Order thing.
Yeah.
The truth is, man, is like I know a lot of people who've been in like the jail system, and there's a lot of people who don't ever have to experience that in their life, you know.
Yeah.
And so by like when I put it with like that sort of trend that's going around, it throws people off guard, and it also gets them kind of thinking about like the whole jail and prison system without them really knowing. So it's almost
Yeah.
like a little subliminal message in there. But it's funny because you don't expect it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't know.
exactly.
It sounds so pretentious, dude, but that's.
It's not for I totally get what you're saying. I
Mhm.
totally get it, man. I totally do. So I'm trying to read the questions, dude. I was just listening that whole time. I was totally a little bit zoned out.
That's
Um
all right, man.
but it was super interesting. So you talked about like Shudder earlier, and you were watching like the 70s horror movies. So like, would you say I don't want to again, I don't want to sound pretentious either. I don't want to say like, are you a cinephile? But are you like into movies? Would you say? Do you watch a lot of movies?
A little bit. I used to be into it. The weird thing, man, is like I actually don't watch a lot of comedy videos or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'll watch like some memes on Instagram, but like very rarely do I watch comedy content,
Yeah.
which is it's kind of weird because I make comedy videos, so you'd
Mm-hmm.
expect me to be like, oh, he's probably got like all his favorite comedians, and it's like I like it. I like Eric Andre, I like all these other guys, but
Dude, Eric Andre is the best.
I take inspiration from him. Everyone does,
Oh
but
my.
it's like, you know, there's some. I don't know what it is, man, but I have no reasoning behind it. I just like watching like usually horror movies and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Just been a thing that I've been into since I was a kid.
And before I would like respond with what I'm gonna say, I just want to say maybe you'll appreciate this reference. I don't know, but Investigate 311, dude. That I don't know.
Yep.
You watch the Eric Andre show? I bet, right? It's great.
Yeah.
Have you seen Loiter
That made
Squad?
a cameo in one of my videos
Really?
where I was checking out new TikTok trends, and I put Bush did 311 as a text on one of these things.
That's awesome, man. That's all. I love that you also like put Easter eggs into your videos, though. That's so cool. Like, you know, that no, obviously there's no one on like YouTube who's like top 10 Easter eggs you may have missed in Sticksy617's recent TikToks.
No, I'm not that important. I've never been
Imagine
that
though.
important.
Imagine if there was someone who's dedicated to like finding all the Easter eggs and all the TikTok videos.
I've had some dedication before.
Yeah, I mean,
It's kind of surreal, man, because I really don't see myself as that important, dude. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But it's like I kind of forget that sometimes that other people kind of do.
Mm-hmm.
And so I forget that, like, when I'm in a live stream and somebody's like doing all this weird stuff to get my attention, like, it's because they don't expect me to just say like, "Hey, what's up?" You know what I mean?
Yeah, like even when I came on, there were so many people because I went on your recent live, and then you followed me back immediately, and I was like, oh damn, he saw me. But
Mhm.
I was just like, I'll say something, I'll pop in really quickly because I saw you were live. But I totally get the feeling of also being on the other end of that, and I'm sure you might. I don't know if you have any TikTokers you really like think are, you know, who you'd be
Most
in
of
a
them
live.
know me now, so it's kind of weird. When I
Yeah,
went to the playlist, Sebastian Bales recognized me, even though like I straight up made fun of him in a video a bunch of times. But I don't have anything against them. It's like I said, I don't like
Mhm.
make fun of people. I just make fun of like myself mostly. But yeah, it was like
Yeah, I mean
he
that's.
recognized he liked my videos.
I mean, like they're good videos, man.
I tried my best.
I mean, Sebastian Bales. A lot of those times, I think people like that in that section, they just got roped into something. They made one video once and it did really well, and they got roped
Yeah.
into something, and now they have to keep making the same videos, and they're not really that happy
Well,
anymore.
Sebastian Bales busts his ass. Same thing as Nathan Pillan, the guy with the dyed beard, and that guy has like the coolest music out there. He's another guy who I met playlist. You know what I mean? I didn't mean
Yeah,
that much.
like I mean, you know, trust me, I watch all the hype house cringe videos, and I mean, for me, it's more like they're like my same age, so to see them blowing up for like standing there and getting like millions of likes on it,
Hmm.
it's a little annoying. I won't lie, but it's not like they are like coming up with dances and coming up with trends, and they're
Yeah,
doing a lot, and they're also still pretty young, so I mean it can't be easy, and you got to respect the grind for that, I think, for sure.
exactly. I mean, when
Yeah.
I think of hype house, man, like so many creators I know get pissed off by Charlie D'Amelio getting views. And look, I'm not gonna say too much, but I've researched her numbers. I'm pretty sure she's an industry plant based on some inside stuff I know. But I'm not gonna go official with that, you know what I mean? So maybe we'll
Yeah.
keep it off the record. But like the thing is though, you gotta realize, man, if you're making content, like who is your audience? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like do you want like everybody goes like, damn, like Charlie D'Amelio's got like a bunch of views, but do you want your audience to be 11-year-old girls who want to watch you dance? You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Like it's that
That's
you
what I'm
want,
always thinking. It's like that's
or
not what
really
I want.
horny teenage boys.
Exactly. I don't want that.
Yeah. No, I don't want that on my
Props
page
to her for
either.
doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, got a huge audience though. It is working for her. It is,
Hmm.
luckily. But like I feel like there is, with like just everything with followers and everything on TikTok. It does, I think it sucks, and I bet you can relate to this when you're on your For You page and you're scrolling through, and then something will have like 500,000 likes, and it's because someone was like, guys, if you put this hashtag on your post, it's going to go viral, or like, it's one of those
Hmm.
videos where it's just not a lot of effort.
Here's something I've learned about those types of that type of content, right? Is like I know a lot of creators who've done that and who like had careers off of it for a while.
Mhm.
And what always happens is your career basically goes nowhere. Like you can get hits from that. You can get like people liking it, people just click the follow button, but like nobody's gonna like go to your profile and check out your videos just because you made a spammy video like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like there's tons of spammy stuff like that. I make fun of it all the time, but it's like the thing is for like people who try to spam, like the type of people who do self promo and stuff like that, it's like you don't get a good base of followers just by kind of like sneaking your way into follows from people, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And those types of people, they got like one video with like a million views, and then like all the other videos do trash because
Yeah.
they don't actually like making content, you know?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, dude, I feel like, when someone has video blow up like that, they get the amount of clout at first, like there's a huge surge of it, and then
Yeah.
it kind of like plateaus.
it fades out because what you they didn't plan that far, you know.
Yeah, they weren't like expecting something to happen. So
They just think
like,
now I
business as
get rich
usual.
and famous. Nope.
Yeah, exactly. You're not Charlie D'Amelio, like, or whatever, whoever. I don't even Madison Beer. I don't know who has the hype
Mm-hmm.
or whatever that even is anymore. I honestly don't
Yeah.
care. But like I had a whole thing we were gonna talk about TikTok POVs. Because I think they're just kind of weird. But I don't know.
You want me to answer it? Because I can if you want.
Yeah, I mean, what's your opinion on the TikTok POVs?
I think it's like some of them I actually kind of like some of the spooky ones like early on,
Oh
but
yeah, I have good
I
ones.
think I don't know. I think it's an age thing, man. But like I'm 23 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to see some like 15-year-old boy like pretending to be my boyfriend who like cheats on me or something, or like some 16-year-old girl saying like it's just not my thing, you know?
Oh yeah, I was scrolling one night late at night, and then it's like this blue room, and I just watched the video, and this kid who looks about 12 just slides on the camera and looks at me really seductively, and then just goes out. And then I read the caption, and says, POV, you're with your boy best friend on a hot summer night, and he grabs your hips, and you realize you're not a little girl anymore. And it was just really
Oh
uncomfortable
God.
for everyone in the room, which was just me. But, it was really not a great moment.
Everybody's gonna
Yeah.
hate me for this, but honestly, I think if you're under 18, your parents should be watching everything that you post online.
My parents watch everything I post online.
Good,
Yeah.
man. Because you know what? Like, look, I'm let me tell you something, dude. I was a stupid fucking kid at one point because we all were.
Oh,
Like, I was a stupid fucking kid. And you know what? Like, my stupid kid stuff stayed in the past. And the problem with nowadays is you got kids saying the N word on like TikTok and going viral for doing something or making a really bad joke and going viral. And now you have the entire internet looking at some dumb mistake you made when you were 15 years old.
yeah.
And that's the problem with like the way it's going now is like parents just give their kids phones and just say like go off with it. But no, like you can't get a job if you got some like stuff going online about you that's bad. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. My parents are gonna love that you said that. They listen to the podcast too, so they're gonna love that part.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. My parents, they watch all my videos. I will say sometimes they're like, why don't you bring this thing back? It was popular that one time. Or, like they'll talk about views and followers or something with me. But that's fine. They're looking out for me. They want me to be happy.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I totally get that. I got social media a little young just because I moved around a lot, and my parents wanted me to keep in touch with my older cousins since that was
Yep.
like permanent friends, I guess, because it's family or whatever. So I have, again, the next question is supposed to be, tell me about self-ISO. What's that been like for you? I'm pretty sure that was the first question I asked. So let me ask you some movie recommendations, if you have any at all.
Movie recommendations.
It can be anything, man.
I'll keep them kind of PG-13 for the sake of the podcast.
No,
but
I recorded the intro for this episode already. I recommended some pretty R-rated movies. So go wild, man. Seriously. It's just like the content. Like if you're recommending something R-rated, if you feel more comfortable, you could say like, get your parents' permission before watching this.
Oh, for sure. Whatever works. Yeah. I mean, I really like the Sleepaway Camp series. It's a bunch of like 80s slasher movies. It's like really cheesy. The first one has this like surprise twist that's like honestly kind of like in really sick taste, but it's like just very like chaotic and corny, like the 80s kind of were. A really good one I watched recently. It's called The Witch. It's like set in it's by the guy who did that movie The Lighthouse you're seeing all the ads for.
Oh yeah.
And it's set in like during like the witch trials in New England. and it's really interesting because it's like a period piece. Like they talk in, it's hard to understand. You gotta need subtitles to understand it. And they talk in like very exact dialects, and it's more about like this family. It's very scary, but it's also more about like this family who's kind of like very devoutly religious, and how that actually kind of leads them down like a darker sort of path. And it's just an interesting movie to watch. I haven't watched a lot of movies recently, to be honest. I'm
TV?
trying to think of what were you saying?
You watch like any TV, like TV shows, any stuff like that?
I haven't watched TV in forever.
Cool.
Probably I like Black Mirror a lot. That's like the only TV show I watch anymore.
Black
My
Mirror,
big
I those are like becoming short movies being released in like series form.
Exactly.
Yeah.
My big problem with TV, man, is like I have an addiction to the point where I will watch a series. I'll watch like the first episode of a series at like 6:00, and whether I think it's good or not, I have to see the end of it, and I'll be up until like 4 a.m. watching the entire series.
Yeah.
So I kind of just stay away from TV for that reason. Oh, really good show I've been watching though. It's called Dark Tourist.
Mm-hmm.
It's this guy, he goes on like these vacations to like these like it's like a documentary series, and it's this guy from New Zealand, like some squirmy looking little journalist, and he goes on vacations to like not necessarily just like spooky places, but places that are surrounded by like death or like dangerous stuff. Like he goes to like a radioactive part of Japan. He goes to like these like authoritarian governments and tries to like sneak behind and see stuff. Like it was a really interesting documentary, just noticing like just kind of the cultural differences of different countries with how we are sort of like disturbed by certain things that other people aren't. Well, it's like every day for other people. And I don't know, I thought it was kind of interesting.
Dude, no, that's insane. And not to recommend, like a TV show that might get you, watching too much of it. But like You is a pretty good show, and then obviously you've probably heard about Tiger King. Both two pretty good shows. I would probably recommend. I mean, based on what I've heard about, your taste.
I'll have to probably check it out.
Check out Tiger King's shorter. It's like 7 episodes.
That I could probably do.
Yeah, and it's really like popular right now. So you probably get some content out of it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any YouTubers you like? Because you've talked about YouTube a few times. So is there any
YouTubers I like? I
And
like this
for
guy
me,
named, in terms of like influential, I don't get a lot of inspiration from YouTube, but I used to watch The Needle Drop a lot as a kid. He's like this music reviewer.
Mhm.
And he's actually, if I had to think of like one person who inspired my editing, it's probably that guy, which is kind of weird because he does music reviews, but he did these segments with this character that he called Cal Chester.
Mhm.
And like, he's like this like big music journalist, but occasionally like Cal Chester would come on, and he did this video. It was a review of this like Slip song or something. And he gets all like freaked out because it's like too just the editing in it. Like if you watch that, anybody watching this, if you look up like Slipknot Cal Chester, if you watch that video, you'll realize like where I got inspired to make my videos, because I kind of ripped that style of that video off, but it is what it is.
I might ask you to send me a link to that afterward.
Oh, for sure.
Just to put in the description to the video in case anyone actually wants to see it. And I want to see it too. So but that actually kind of goes on the topic of music, goes perfectly into like the next thing. And I guess sadly the final thing. Because like I'm having fun having this conversation. I don't like stopping the podcast conversations.
Mm-hmm.
But also it is kind of the last thing on my list. There's also a speed round if you want to do it.
I can do the speed round, man.
Yeah. Okay, cool. But this part is called Sticksy's playlist. So like I make one playlist at the beginning of the week, and in the intro I talk about the songs I picked, and then I always let, the guests, they just get to put down some songs, and I just rapidly note take on my phone. And then I add them to a Spotify playlist, and I make an Apple Music playlist too. And I put both the links in the description. Then people can go check those playlists out if they want to. So yeah. What is on your playlist this week?
This week, I've
Or
been in
just
kind of like just a very like lethargic kind of mood because I've been around my house a lot.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna pull up a playlist I have because I have a ton of them, and I'm not gonna remember any of these songs.
Are playlist names important to you? Because for me, it's like playlist names too. Like my
I
playlist.
name a lot of them. I name a lot of them because I
Mhm.
think it's interesting.
Me too.
But we got Here's Where the Story Ends by the Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do like 10 of them.
Okay.
Katie Song by Red House Painters.
All right. Got it. Got it. Got it.
When the Sun Hits by Slow Dive. Heaven or Las Vegas by this one's COCTEAU Twins, Cockatoo Twins.
Okay.
Age of Consent by New Order. I can keep going until you want me to stop.
Oh, dude, keep going. I'm loving this.
Vapor Trail by Ride.
I didn't hear I think you kind of cut out on the first word. What was that?
Okay. Vapor Trail by Ride. VAPOUR.
Okay.
The British spelling. Cemetery Gates by the Smiths.
Dude, I love the Smiths.
They're pretty cool.
Yeah, they're a great band.
They're a pretty cool band.
I like them. We can do one more song.
Let's pick a good one. Let's get a good one. I'll go with Little Dipper by Hum. Oh no, actually, I'm sorry. We'll do D, like the letter D by Codeine.
D by Codeine. Okay. So what type of music are you into? I guess I have a few music questions now because now I'm a little intrigued by this whole list. What kind of music are you into?
It is a huge variety, man. When I was growing up, so like I've always listened to hip hop. That was kind of like, and that's what I listen to now, just because I don't really listen to music anymore that much.
Mm-hmm.
But I was listening to all like gangster rap because I was like some poor fucking kid who like sorry to swear, some poor kid who just like didn't have a lot going and stuff, and just like hearing about all the hustle and stuff because I thought I was like some big shot, biggest kid on the block. But I got into a lot of like punk and hardcore when I was around 15. And I go to a lot of these hardcore shows because they were like $5 compared to like you go and try to see like all these other bands for like $30, and I couldn't afford that. So I go to these like $5 shows and like go like, jump in the mosh pit and just like get out all my teenage aggression, and then just go home, and it was a good time. And I listened to a lot. I got into a lot of like folk music, like Social Distortion's one of my favorite bands. I've seen them twice. And their lead singer had like a bunch of like country songs he put out in like an album, and that got me into like Bob Dylan and Johnny Cash, Hank Williams, all that sort of stuff. And then like
Johnny
somehow,
Cash and I have the same birthday. Sorry, that was weird. I know.
With
sorry.
who?
Johnny Cash and I have the same birthday.
Oh, that's cool, man. That's
Yeah.
cool. And I got into I'm like rambling, dude. I'm sorry.
No,
but I got that long story short, I got into like a lot of like 90s indie bands and stuff like that, but not like indie was not what it is today when you think of indie today, where it's like Buttercup by Jack Stauber or whatever his name is. Like it was like a lot of like really just downtrodden, depressing music, like Mazzy Star, My Valentine, like all this like really cool experimental stuff going on. And that's the kind of stuff I really got into because my mother when I was growing up, she would listen to a lot of Tori Amos.
Mm-hmm.
So I got into a lot of like this 90s, like sort of underground art music, I guess.
Yeah.
And that's all. It went back to being my favorite when I got back into when I grew up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Went back into being my mother's favorite music. But I listen to like pretty much everything, dude. Blues. I even got into country when I used to work in a drain truck.
For real.
Because it was just real nice, like driving around in like southern Massachusetts and listening to like, some country song on the radio.
Are you a big like sports fan, like Massachusetts sports fan, or no? Do you stay out of that scene?
I love basketball a little too much because I used to gamble on it and spend way too much money on it. So I don't watch sports anymore. It is what it is.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. That's good. So I mean, yeah, like going back on what you said about indie music, especially now, I feel like it's, there's two categories. You have the Jack Stober kind of weirdish type, like high-pitched voice. Like if you've listened to any of his other songs, it's just like a lot of, like just, it's weird to me. I don't know how you feel about it, but it's just kind of weird to me. And then you have like this new category, which is like bedroom pop.
Yeah.
It's like white girls with ukuleles singing songs.
Indie music
Yeah.
has changed so much because what it used to stand for was like independent music. Like Nirvana before they were signed was
indie,
an indie band,
Mm-hmm.
And that was just what was going on. It was just like independent music. But now it's become like this kind of commercialized thing that it kind of started with my generation with like, when you had like the friggin' Lumineers or like Young the Giant, this cough syrup, whoa. And then everybody got into this kind of like jumpy, like poppy, like, and it's like, that was not what anybody would be listening to back in like, back when indie music was a thing,
Yeah.
And that's what?
It's not it's not indie anymore.
It's
the closest
pop.
thing we have to indie is SoundCloud rappers.
Exactly. Like they're doing stuff that's more groundbreaking a lot of the time than some of the independent artists I hear. You know what I mean? That's always how it goes, man. It's always how it goes.
Yeah, and it just stinks. I mean, another music question. This will be, I guess, the last music question for the speed round. It's just like, do you have any way of preferring to listen to music? And by that is like, I'll give you an example. Is like, I probably mostly listen to music on my phone because it's easy.
Mm-hmm.
But I got a ton of after my grandmother passed. Actually a little before, I got a ton of her cassettes while they were, cleaning out her apartment. And I was listening to cassettes a little before because I really liked Guardians of the Galaxy. But cassettes for me have just become like, it's just a different experience when I just sit down and listen to a cassette and just let it play.
For sure.
Is there anything like that for you where like maybe it's a record player or, even like CD?
I've been collecting vinyl since I was like 15 years old or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I started out with like a lot of like punk and hardcore stuff, but I got into like opera music and jazz music and a lot of other indie music, like goth rock from the 80s. I got like most of my favorite music on vinyl.
That's awesome.
And it's just like kind of nice, like being able sometimes like I used to play like one of my favorite albums is Curtis Mayfield, the soundtrack to the movie Superfly. I'm sorry, not Superbad, Superfly.
Oh, either one.
And that's one of my favorite albums. And I used to play it on like the vinyl record whenever I was talking like about some beef or something that I had with like, I don't know, some guy who gave me death threats back in like the old days when I used to be like still trying to be a gangster while being a social media star,
Yeah.
But that was it was just kind of nice, like putting on some vinyl and just like letting the needle spin and like talking to everybody.
Also, I mean, just watching, just like looking at it for a bit. I have a record player. My favorite album of all time, and I don't know how you feel about like the music I'm into, I guess, is more Like if you listen to Childish Gambino's recent album and Tyler the Creator's recent album, like almost like experimental hip hop, I guess.
I like a lot of that stuff.
Yeah. So I got my for my birthday, I got Igor on vinyl. And I don't know what happened, but I didn't. The record player's old, and I've had it for a while. But I guess there's something wrong with the needle on it. So now the music just comes out really scratchy. And so it kind of stinks. But I mean, it's still like, I don't know.
You can get new needles, right?
Yeah, but I mean, my parents are really taking it. It happened like during this whole self-iso quarantine stuff. So I mean, I could order one on Amazon, but there's
You're
so
not
many
gonna know
other
how to
ways
put
I
it
can
in.
listen to music.
Yeah.
It is what it is for now, and I'll get it fixed eventually.
Exactly.
Yeah. So now let's move on to the speed round. These are just kind of like questions. I literally just sat down and I set a 10-minute timer and I started writing down some questions. So I did want to add one, which was, I guess I'll just put it, but I guess you just didn't know this question before. It's nothing serious, so don't worry about it. It's just like a dumb question. So let's go. First question. I've never done a speed round before. I thought it'd be something fun to add to the show. I'm not going to put a time limit on the questions. I just called it speed round to make it sound
That's why we have editing.
Yeah. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. I'll add like some funky music or something. So you can only listen to one artist for the rest of your life. Who is it?
It's a band called Cigarettes After Sex.
Cigarettes After Sex. I'm actually writing that down because you seem like you know what you're talking about, especially with music. So I also wrote down the Social Extortion Band too. So that's good. All right. I don't know if you have one of these, but a favorite clothing brand.
Favorite clothing brand? Probably Adidas.
Dude, me too. I love I'm kind of picky, I guess. I like all Adidas, but like the Adidas shirts with the older logo from like the 80s and the 90s. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't even know much about clothes. I just like wearing the tracksuits because that's like what every guy with like a drug problem in Massachusetts wears. That's all I can say.
I was actually, my family's moved around a lot, like I said. I was actually born in Massachusetts.
Really?
Yeah, like really close to Foxborough. So I still have some family that lives down there, and my family will go down to the Cape.
And you know what, kid? If you try hard enough, you could still make it in a detox. There's still time, all right?
All right. All right.
I'm rooting for you.
All right. Thank you. I'll let you know how that goes for sure. Okay, so if your life was a movie, what movie would it be? And it can be like something stupid. It can be something super abstract too.
You're going to have to edit me thinking about this because I'm going to be thinking about this for a minute.
Again, I have no problem with it. I don't know how you would answer this question. I don't even know how I would answer this question. But if you could be anyone else for a day, who would it be? If anyone.
Probably, if I could choose anyone, I'd probably want to be like Stanley Kubrick. Just so I don't know if he's alive still, but just so I could figure out like how his mind works and everything.
Yeah, he's not alive, but I get what you're saying.
Like some of those movies.
Yeah, I mean, have you heard like the stories about The Shining, like what he did on set and everything, and like?
No, I've just seen it.
You've seen The Shining, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you know that scene with the "Here's Johnny" scene?
Mm-hmm.
He made that actress redo that scene, like that take, 127 times.
No way.
Broke her mentally. If you look up that actress now, like she did an interview with Dr. Phil. I'll either send it to you after this or you can look it up. But like Kubrick broke that actress as a person. Like the story,
really,
man, it's insane. Like it's definitely worth, like if you're into documentaries, I'm sure there's a documentary about it somewhere. So
I get that.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, got a little off track. Who would you cast in a similar fashion? Who would you cast in a movie or TV show to play yourself?
Play myself. Probably Willem Dafoe.
Really? Like you right now?
Oh, well, right now, I gotta think. See, the problem is there's not a lot of actors that I feel like are because if I'm talking about like my life story, right? Like there's some really nitty gritty stuff, and like a lot of these like Hollywood guys are, like kind of softies. So I can't even think of one who'd be like trying to think. Oh, you know what? The kid who played Jesse in Breaking Bad.
Oh, he would be. You watch Breaking Bad? I almost
I
recommend
haven't watched it, but I've seen like I just know that he can look like he's just a sinister guy, and
Dude,
that's what I'd want.
he would be actually. Now that you bring that up, he would be perfect to play you. Like seriously, someone who I saw recently. I don't know if he would play you, but like who actually shocked me. I watched this. He had Pete Davidson. There's this new movie he just made on Hulu called.
Everybody says I look like him.
I don't.
He could probably do it. He's got the
maybe,
tattoos.
but he did it. He was in this movie on Hulu called Big Time Adolescence, and I watched it, and he was actually really good. Like
interesting.
Yeah,
I've wanted to see him acting because I'm not like the biggest fan of his SNL stuff because like I don't think he does anything like noteworthy.
Yeah.
But I kind of want to see him act and stuff just because the way he talks about creating things and stuff like that.
Do you have Netflix?
I do.
He came out with a stand-up special very recently on Netflix that I think you would probably like.
You were saying a Netflix show?
It is just a stand-up special.
With Pete Davidson?
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out.
He talks about especially the SNL stuff, like they do him dirty a lot because they think he's controversial, so they don't really let him be on the show that much.
Yeah,
so
I can understand that.
So yeah, like I mean, it's a funny thing, but he also he's funny obviously, but he also talks about a lot of stuff that's just like, wow, you know?
Yep.
All right. There's only really two questions left in the speed round anyway, so you still might be able to make that other Zoom meeting if you want to.
No, they're staying on for a while.
All right, cool. So I don't know if you like have someone like this. I do. Like I definitely have some characters, some people like this in movies and TV. So like what fictional character can be from movies, TV, books, a radio serial, I don't know. Do you really like identify with? Like you saw that character and you were like, that's a character I like because, you know, I feel represented on screen or something.
I'd say probably like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Just in a broader sense.
No, yeah.
He's just this kind of kid who got like, is kind of on the wrong side of the tracks, and then he's got like he kind of messes up a lot of the time, but he's got a heart of gold. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, yeah, I totally yeah, I feel that. Spider-Man. Did you read the comics or just movies?
Just the movies growing up as a kid, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just some movies growing up as a kid.
Great movies, man. So this is the last thing. It says 30 seconds of knowledge. I mean, you did kind of give indirect advice to small creators early on, like you just kind of say things. So I guess we'll keep it to 30 seconds of knowledge. We're gonna try at least. So 30 seconds. Do you have any advice for younger up and coming creators who want to give this whole TikTok thing a shot? And we'll start the timer in 3, 2, 1, boom.
If you're doing it for fame and money, get out of the business. It's not going to work for you. When I started doing this, I was working 80 hours a week and making videos at nighttime, and I still work a whole lot on it because I love making people happy. And if you're not doing it for that reason, then you're best finding a better job.
Dude, 10 seconds left to spare, too. Damn, that was perfect. That was great. It's great. It really was. I mean,
Little cynical, but it is what it is.
no, yeah. Okay, this is a little bit of like, I guess, a middle question before we sign off that I just thought of now. I'll probably copy and paste to earlier in the video. But how many videos would you say of the videos you make go to drafts?
Kind of none of them. Just because, like, but
That could be
the only
edited,
reason why, right, is because, like, I'm at a point now where if I'm going to, like, execute a video, I know exactly what I'm doing with it, you know? So if I have an idea in my head, I can see how it's going to look when it's done. And if I don't like how it's going to look, I'm just not going to make it, period, you know?
Mm-hmm.
If
Yeah, I
that makes
totally get
sense.
that. Yeah. All right. I'm actually really sad. I want to keep in touch with you after this, if that's okay.
No,
I
for
won't be
sure,
like
man.
overbearing about it or anything, but you are a really cool, nice, genuine person.
Yeah,
And
man.
you seem really cool. And I'm
I'm on
like,
Instagram. I don't know what your Instagram is, but I never go on social media, so expect just a hello from your old pal Sticksy every once in a while, and there you go.
all right, cool. I'll email you my Instagram because I know you actually, or maybe I'll just email you. I'm gonna definitely email you some links and some names of, you know, things that you could like watch and stuff. And for
For
sure, because
sure.
like don't expect me to just pretend like I didn't recommend some stuff. I'm not gonna follow up about it. I'm also gonna listen to the stuff you recommended too and let you know
For
like,
sure.
how I feel about that. Because I think, you know, it was a good episode. Like an hour, 20 minutes, great. So
Yeah.
special thanks to you, man. For real. I reached out to a ton of creators. I was hesitant to reach out to you just because I actually like you a lot. And a lot of the creators I was reaching out to were like people who was like, this, you know, could really like you were someone I really just wanted on because I really like your content. And then you responded and you were so nice. So thank you so much. Go follow him
Always, man.
on Instagram. YouTube is in the description. All the links to his stuff are in the description. Is there anything or anyone you want to plug at all at the end? You know,
Check out I'm thinking of a few people right now. Check out Soupytime, who's coming up, and Choltime or Clotime on TikTok, who's coming up. Two very, very funny creators, and I like them a lot.
Soupytime?
Yep, Soupytime, and it's Choltime, I think.
All right. Okay, so I already follow Soupytime. I have for a while. I know exactly what she's hilarious. She's awesome. And I do not know who Choltime is. For sure, send me though, like I'm gonna find her at all their information too will be in the description. Links.
For sure.
Go follow them, go follow Sticksy. Thank you so much for tuning in this week. Thank you so much, Sticksy, for being here. This was incredible. And that's all from me. Gonna sign off
That's
now,
all,
guys.
folks.
Peace out. Yeah, exactly. All right. Thank you so much, dude, for coming on. Seriously, I appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries.